whoever's on the other side of the world or whatever time of the day it may be. Do please forgive the absence last weekend with the snow and ice storm. It wasn't fun for me either, not having any power or internet signal and all that good stuff. I think leverages were low enough on any of the copy trading stuff that I wasn't too worried anyways, and I think we were only in one or two positions, so there was still plenty of funds sidelined. The only thing I regret though is that I wasn't available to DCA and bring the average down. Otherwise, we'd be sitting in profit right now. But is what it is. So I'm playing catch up myself, trying to see where we are in the market. So let's start. I don't know, let's zoom out a little bit further and see where we are on a bigger scale here. Yeah, we look like we're just going to be chopping around a good bit longer. Alright, so we got just shy of 3 days left in this 2-week candle. No rollover yet in the 7-day moving average. All price action is still above it. I'm still keeping on that left side, so there's no rollover yet, no price candles under. MACD still looks good. However, let's not get like cocky and am I not sharing screen? I thought I was. Well, I guess now I'm sharing the screen. I thought I had it turned on already. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. All right, so we zoom out. Oh, no, that's the wrong chart. Let's go to Bitstamp. More chart history. There we go. Let me delete notes here. Yep. Bitcoin still looks to be on a 3-month time frame. Still looks to be fully in the bulls' favor here. That MACD still looks like 100% in favor of the bulls and more upside. We didn't even lose a local level. I don't know why everybody was started panicking and screaming that we're like going to 60K or whatever. But that's crypto Twitter for you. So we still look good on all time frames. Still 2 weeks, 15 days left in the monthly candle. So, I mean, there's still some room to go both up or down, but, we're still showing a decent good uptrend here. I don't see anything really yet to be worried about. I was just talking about the 2-week candle a minute ago before I realized the screen wasn't showing. Very nice buyback on that candle right off that tip of that 7-day moving average. So that's still showing that the bulls are in charge there. Look at the MACD here. It looks like it wants to kind of curl back up, but we're not going to rule anything out yet. We could just very well also float for a couple more weeks and then maybe see what happens after that kind of movement. We may be doing one of these little scenarios right here too, up here on this level. So there is no reason to panic. We didn't even lose a local level. I don't know why everybody was panicking so much the other day. Yeah, I think I was looking at down here at this bottom range at 85K. So we are still fully in the bulls' favor above 85K. We start getting below there. I mean, yeah, we might want to start panicking, but we're still looking good. Ethereum is lagging. I don't know why Ethereum has been lagging behind Bitcoin so much lately. This looks like a big distribution. So I don't know. Maybe ETH does this and maybe just holds this, or it might just do this until summer or March rather, spring, before it gets its movement up. But even still on a macro level, we're still fine above 2,500 on Ethereum. I want to see that nice. That's a very nice wick buy up though. So as long as we stay above 2,900 and not lose either of these local levels, I mean, I think we're still fine. This is still a possibility too, though. We could Ethereum could just range and range and range and be the last to move. So let's see what F looks like on Bitstamp on a macro level. See, it doesn't quite look as strong as Bitcoin. That's mind-boggling to me. 2 month looks like meh. Even the monthly looks like meh. I don't think Trump is factored in yet. I don't think so. And I say that because Gensler is what has really been holding the crypto market back from really breaking out. And Trump is already trying to make it a point to get rid of Gensler as soon as he can, probably even on day one, and replace him with somebody that's more crypto friendly. The scary thing that I saw yesterday, though, and I think this might be the start, as I was looking at the S&P 500. This looks really, really scary. That is a monstrous parabolic move. So that's scary for the S&P 500, but I think this is where things get really interesting and bullish for crypto. So imagine hedge funds and Uber swing traders or whatever that were, holding out for this entire bullish move up. This looks like it's about to pull a blow off top. And if you don't know what a blow off top is, it's when price of an asset moves parabolically and then comes back down almost as equally fast. And I just don't see what was holding the market up when nobody has money to invest. People were struggling to pay rent, all of that good stuff. And look down here at the OBV. The on-balance volume is actually showing a decline. So as price was moving up, the volume was moving out of the S&P. So I think the S&P and regular stock markets are getting ready for a crash. And in order for these big money hedge funders to keep making money and keep rolling profits, they're going to roll that into crypto. That's just my guess here. Because when we're looking at, I don't know, let's take one, for example, Harmony. There's going to be a lot of coins that look like this too. Most all coins are going to look like this. So when you're looking at the S&P 500, we're at a parabolic top. But when you look at most altcoins, we're at a bottom still. So imagine all of that money transferring out of the stock market and coming into crypto to start pumping coins or altcoins or whatever that are still nestled down at the bottom ranges. If you look at the MACD here, it's still really just getting started. Now, this is a 2-month chart, so that doesn't mean within the next 2 months it's just going to go parabolic as much as we want it to. It could, kind of chop a little bit more until March, even April, for all we know, before it gets that pump. But these are the levels that we want to buy, not start buying up here like a lot of people do. I don't know if you guys saw that chart that I posted in the chat. Let me bring it over here. So this is about where we are. Oh, wrong chart. It's this one. So this is about where most of the altcoin market is. This is about where all of the newbie traders really start, when they're getting into crypto or whatever. They want to buy a coin as it's pumping. Nobody wants to buy down here when it's boring, it's flat, blah, blah, blah. They think that all the newbie money is what causes this. No, this is not retail. This is hedge funds that have been buying down here. They've loaded all of their bags and they're ready to pump their bags. So they're going to start throwing that powder money at it. And then the newbies are going to start FOMOing. The retail are going to start FOMOing in. And they're going to start telling their moms and dads to start buying up after a pump like this. Meanwhile, we're buying, or I'm trying to get you guys to get in the habit of buying coins down here when they are boring. FET. Everybody loves FET now. But there was a period of time where FET was even boring like this. Let's see, where is FET? So again, I mean, 2-month chart, even FET had about 2 years of sideways chop. So again, this little red dot or this red bubble here is roughly about where we are in this kind of structure for most every altcoin that hasn't pumped yet. But even FET, all the way back from 2022, had a period of flat, absolute nothing boringness. But then everybody started talking about FET and it was all wonderful and all that crap all the way up here at the top. So I don't think, there's any reason for anybody to really start to panic on altcoins yet. I just have this sneaky suspicion that either this is a blow off top and money starts dumping out of the S&P 500. And of course, they'll blame Trump for it or whatever, even though, he's not the cause of why all this kept pumping with no money in retail anyways. Or this sets up a distribution pattern and this begins the phase of transferring out of the stock market into crypto, and then once they're finally ready to kill the stock market, then it starts to come down. But this right now is really starting to look like a blow off top about to happen, and the S&P is about to dump. At the same time, we got Bitcoin dominance in a very nice downtrend, really in the favor of altcoin season or alt season, whatever you want to call it. The 8 hour, look at it, it's still pushing down. So we're still holding under this rejection. That's 1, 2, 3 trend line rejections. And now we're losing that 100-day moving average. So we may kind of float around a little bit. Heading into the end of the month in February, like we had discussed a couple times in chat. So I think this is about where we are now. I don't want to say that, oops, crap. My chart just got really screwy there. I don't want to say that we're going to run this weekend. We could be the start, but I don't think we're just going to full on just take off and see a November type pump just yet. Some altcoins, of course, will outperform others. So right now we just need to kind of position ourselves. As long as Bitcoin is kind of choppy and flat. What is the OBV doing? Yeah, so even the OBV is still kind of choppy and flat. I'd like to see volume start to die off. It looks like it is, which is good because big volume, and now it's starting to level off and die off. And that means that the money's going to flow out of Bitcoin and into altcoins as dominance is dropping. Now, again, we're looking at macro levels. We're not looking at day-to-day candles, because I know everybody panicked last week when we had this dip, but we didn't lose any local levels on any altcoin, even ZRX. So we rejected. I think we bought up here. So we're almost at that break-even point. No big deal. All we did was sweep these lows, and now we're looking pretty good. So a couple things can happen. ZRX, for example, we still need to reclaim this level at 55 cents. So we could do this, okay, and that could really start to kick things off. And then heading into middle of February or whatever, and there's our pump cycle heading up to $2, $3, $4 or whatever it may be if it pulls an XRP over the next month or two. Or we reject under there and kind of pull back and consolidate a little bit more and then begin our pump. So we're not out of the woods yet on pullbacks. Still a lot could happen, but so far very nice recoveries on a lot of altcoins, reclaiming these local resistances first that we lost last week during the snow. Again, just regrettable that with no power in internet, I wasn't available to DCA and add to positions in lower the average entry. So then we'd probably be somewhere right here, and we'd be in profit on most all of these bags. So even ZRX is looking a lot like one. It's looking a lot like XRP even. I mean, this is an XRP type structure. The MACD is still looking in favor of the bulls. But again, let me delete that. We're still kind of stuck in a range. So what we don't know is, we don't know if it's just going to do this next month or by March, or if it's just kind of float around and we're just going to be boring as shit until early summer. And we won't see this kind of move until, I don't know, April or May or something, and we top out in June. Still a lot to be seen. But what we don't want is, we don't want to wait until we're up here or up here to start buying and then telling everybody in the world that, you know, we're going to some ridiculous number, when we should be buying what we can down here and just managing the portfolios until they break out and we get those pumps. Because when we're zooming out and we clean this chart up, this is nothing but bull. This is 2 years, almost 3, because we're in January. And this kind of bottomed out in May. So a little over 2.5 years of consolidation. So this looks like a test pump on a macro level. And that's a big test pump on a macro level. So that means it likely have cleared all of this resistance all the way up here to about $1.50. So which means this next push, whether if it does it in 1 or 2 candles, or if it does it in 5, 6, 7, or 8, and gets up here to $4 or whatever by the end of the year, some really, really big profits can still be made. And ZRX, for example, is as someone pointed out yesterday, a lower market cap coin. I think it was like 400 million. So a 700% pump, this year, maybe, possible. Could be in the works, and that would put it around $2-3 billion, which is still kind of cheap. The last 2021 bull cycle saw a 600% pump, so there's no reason why a lot of these coins can't do it again. And speaking of XRP, let's note the structure, because it's going to look rather similar to XRP, as do all altcoins. Man, that thing is still rocking and rolling. Yep, just remember, guys, we bought it, we put a call out somewhere here around 66 cents, and then it dipped about 30%. About 26%. So I'm getting XRP type vibes from ZRX. So for you guys that stare at low time frames and you got your candles like freaking ginormous huge in your face like this, yes, I bought at around 66 cents, which is, as you guys would say, the top. This is not a top, by the way. So if you want to call it a top, we'll call it a top for the sake of this video here. And I was at 6x leverage, and it nearly went almost 30%. So I was nearly holding 180% drawdown on that trade. Kind of like last weekend with RSR and EIGN, whatever that coin is. I think those are lower leverages though, so a 30% wasn't that bad. But at 6x, I was down almost 180 to 200%. Now, again, when you're zoomed in like this, that's the top, and then, it's a 30% drop. Why am I holding so much drawdown? But when you zoom the hell out, that all of a sudden doesn't look like the top anymore, does it? All of this range that XRP was ranging in for almost 3 years was not the top. This would be buying the top. Anybody buying now would be buying the top. But this range right down here is not, and same for ZRX. So we bought, around 54 cents, somewhere like right here, and then we just had that drop down to the low 40s or so. Again, not the top. This would be a top. This would be a top. Waiting for this to pump up here, and then some noob over here buying all the way up here would be a top. And this is where I'm going to be selling, is when everybody starts talking about it again. And it's like, oh my God, it's the greatest thing ever. This is where I'm selling. and that's where somebody's going to be holding my bags. So up here about $4, that's going to be about $300,000-$400,000 profit position that I'm going to be cashing out, and somebody's going to be holding it. But I'm buying all this shit on everything that I can down here on ZRX, on One, on Tezos. Again, not the top. Anywhere under this whole range right here, under $2, is not a top. Because even Tezos, similar structure to XRP. I mean, that it's beautiful. I mean, it's a long accumulation period that is just now about to start breaking out. You got a massive volume spike right here and a little bit of a sell-off, or not a little bit of sell-off candle, but the volume is starting to pick up coming out of the accumulation. It's a patience game. I know you guys hate that word, but it really is a patience game. This is where we're buying. I don't care if it's not the perfect entry. That doesn't mean shit to me, because in 3 months or so, if Tezos is, okay, maybe not $15, but even, $10 by the end of the year. $10 by the end of the year, I think that trade probably could be about $1.4 million, $2 million on the trade. Actually, hold on. Let me look at my phone. Let me see what that actually would be. Bear with me 1 second, guys. So Tezos at $10 at current position. Okay, so it's about $900,000 profit at $10. Even if it just went to $10. There's a lot of upside potential still. And then how you can manage this, rather than guessing where the top could be, you can sell it off in chunks. You can sell 25% there, sell 25% there, and then sell a little bit more up here, or whatever the case may be. If it pulls any kind of XRP type run, again, not necessarily in 2 to 3 candles, but if it takes all year, and even if it only retests the highs at $8 or so, and you sell half your position, you leave the moon bag, and your entry is still down here. So even if there is a big correction, and it might only bottom out at $5, you're still down here at like $1.40, $1.50, or whatever. So there's still zero chance of being liquidated, and you can just ride the rest of that moon bag back up, and then take that half of the profit that you sold and put it into something else. And this is just what I'm seeing across the board for just about every altcoin. So if we go back to dominance, the 2-week chart is still overall in a downtrend. I think we're most definitely at minimum going to test 48 to 50% on this impulse. So that means I don't know, by spring maybe we'll catch a pullback. Early summer we might really start to see pullbacks, and then sometime around July, August maybe, we'll start the next push down, and then somewhere in September maybe we'll end up down here at the bottom, and that's where we sell for the year. So my strategy, my plan is, whenever the market tops out, whenever we reach this 2-week 100-day moving average around 48 to 50%, I'm going to close longs, probably take out half of any profit that we make between now and whenever it reaches down here. I don't know, it could be May, which is fine, because if I'm holding for the next 3 months or whatever, and if it makes, turns my bag into $700,000, $800,000, $900,000 by May, okay, that's fine. I don't care. That's still taking $1,000 from September into $700,000, $800,000 by May. So that's what, 8 months? So that's an average $100,000 a month doing nothing more than holding and not worrying about every single candle and dip in existence and all that good stuff. And my stepbrother, or not my stepbrother, my brother-in-law called me this morning. He asked about Litecoin. He said he bought some just above $100, and I think he called me this morning. It was $114, and he asked like, "Hey, what do you think about if I sold some and then tried to rebuy back at $100?" And he's a noob, so he's just learning, and I was telling him the same thing. It's like, no, Litecoin has a very strong macro chart. You could sell only hoping to get that 2 to 3% dip on a low time frame, and you could juke yourself out, because now look at it, it's at 126. It topped out at 130. If he had sold at 114 thinking he was going to get a 3% dip, he'd be out of the trade, and now he'd be chasing. But he's got a better entry, still holding somewhere down here at $100. So now he ain't got to do nothing but hold. That's a very nice chart, by the way. So I told him, same way as I told you guys, if you got a good entry, hold it. If you don't have a great entry, like the entries we got last week before the snow, don't sell to rebuy lower. Just manage your portfolio where you have enough funds on the sidelines that you could DCA and just buy the dips instead. And then now you have a lower average. So we'd be a little bit in profit on ZRX, for example. So it is, it will test your patience, guys. I'm not going to lie. But, you got to go outside. You got to, not worry about every single candle. It's like, look, this is an 8-hour chart, right? Okay, so very, very solid push on RSR about 16 hours ago, 8 hours ago, whatever, earlier today, rather. And then I guarantee you, if someone was staring at a 5-minute chart, they probably would have panicked and sold that, thinking that chart or whatever was about to, nuke. Yeah, here. So they're probably looking at this and thinking it's going to come all the way back down here and it's game over. And that was it. They probably sold, panic or whatever, and now we're still looking good. We're still in an uptrend. Now, it's easy to look at a chart like something that's already happened and be like, oh, I could sell here and then rebuy on the dip. But when you are looking at a chart, let me show you guys something here. So when you're looking at a chart that hasn't developed, you don't know how far this is going to come down. You don't know if it's just going to do this and then keep pumping. You don't know if it's not going to consolidate anywhere here. You're probably thinking, oh, we rejected. We're about to come all the way back down here and make a new low because it pumped and now it's dumping, blah, blah, blah. So it's easy to look at a chart that's already happened and developed and use hindsight in that way. Be like, oh, I could have bought here or could sold here, bought here, sold here, bought here, and sold here, and I'm going to rebuy down here. But when the chart hasn't happened and all you're staring at is blank space, you don't know. It's hindsight. Sometimes, you got to get off these damn low time frame charts and you've got to look at the bigger picture. You still have to keep the higher time frames in mind. That price action was above the 100-day moving average. It reclaimed the local level. The 7-day moving average crossed above the 100-day, so everything was still up above this range here. And this looks like a textbook support resistance flip. Let me turn off the... And if you could just draw a line right there. So we got a bottom wick, candle, wick, and then a buy up off of that range. So that is a textbook support resistance flip, and we still have our uptrend intact. Our MACD is still in play. The uptrend is still in play. So we still have to now reclaim this level off of this wick and this bottom range. That's now we know our next level of resistance because it looks like it rejected off of that level already. So now two things can happen. We could float here and then pull back, or the bulls can come into play, retest the previous highs roughly about where we bought, and then consolidate and then push. So now we have an 8-hour time frame in play. So how do we know what's going to happen then? Okay, we'll keep zooming out. Weekly, straight bull. That looks straight bull. Monthly, straight bull. Again, zooming out. We didn't get the best entry. Don't give a shit. The dip went a little bit further than expected, but I obviously didn't have internet, so I didn't know what the heck was going on with the markets anyways. I was lucky to get some, barely get some Discord DMs and some text messages out to some friends or whatever that are in the Discord. So now we're still seeing an uptrend. Now, does this mean that RSR, for example, is going to pull an XRP pump? Don't know. But it's looked like it's starting to clear the macro, a first macro level. So we may see on this bull cycle, another one of these type pumps, and we could see as high as 8 cents, or we could kind of just float around, and then we might only retest the previous highs at 2.5 cents, and then pull back, and then this may not run until the end of the year or 2026. A lot can still happen here, but we're playing it by as it develops, and we're still looking pretty good on most time frames. So I don't see anything really to worry about there. Even a trend line, you could take a trend line from the lows into the low into the low, and I bet that's going to match up in some form. Textbook trend line, bam, 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 and bam. Even that dip. So trend line wins. So now we just have to play this next resistance as it happens. I'm hoping it busts even above that previous high where we took an entry and we retest that previous high, because even that entry that we got last weekend, I think it was around like 1.7 cents. That's still a 50%, 55%. Now, we're limited to 3x leverage on Hyperliquid for RSI, but that's still 150% profit. So if I was available and had internet, we could have DCA'd down here in this area and brought our average down from up here to here, and we might be at roughly a break-even price now, or even just slightly in profit. So if it did hit that same price target, we'd be 240% in profit instead of 150%. But no levels were lost on any altcoin, so we're still very much in play, still looking good. XTZ looks great. See, look, even ZRX is pushing a little bit, broke even those previous levels right there. So all's looking good. IOTA, I wanted to get out at break even because IOTA had a monster run already. So from that low, that was about a 500% push. IOTA could still come up and retest this level, but I wanted to find some plays that were a little bit more resting on bottoms that I could diversify into. IOTA could still come up here close to 50 cents, but that's fine. You're not going to win every trade. You're not going to be able to hold on to every bag, especially when you start having too many bags. So you just gotta pick and choose everything. There's not going to be any right answer. There's a million plays out there. I don't even know what EIGen is doing. I don't even know. So not too far off from a little squiggly there. MACD showing, trend line in play, still looking good. So even this is a newer coin. So I don't know too much about it. I just see a lot of coins that do this crap right here, and then this is like the new base, and then make another high, and then they just do some shit like this, just for no reason at all. I've seen way too many coins that do something like this, so I just kind of took a gamble on it. Not the greatest entry around here at $4, but we look to be on our way to reclaim that level. And even if we push to $12 or $8 or so, still great profit. That's a staking protocol. That's it. That's all it does. Yeah, well, it was a gamble. Maybe it'll still pay off. So we got ZRX, we got XTZ. So we still have some Dino coins, if you will, in our pocket, and EIGN is a new coin play that that might work out. RSR is not a new coin. They've been around for a good while, I guess. And they're actually an RWA, so they are a real world asset. And I think they have a burn coming up, so I think they're going to burn tokens. Now, I don't know if that was priced in, and that's what caused this pump or not. I don't know. But there's still a lot of coins out there. I don't chill guy for whatever damn reason. I don't even know what this is. This might be bottomed out here. I don't know. I hate when coins look like this because they always, I don't know, for whatever reason do this and then come down here to practically zero and then just go flatline for like 3 years. So chill guy is another new coin, but it doesn't look good to me. This one had a completely different structure and was holding, so it looks good to me. Oh, so they just messed up the claiming. Okay, well, yeah. New tokens, they're going to have their bugs. They're going to have their screw-ups. Every token has done that before. So we'll give them a shot and see what's up. Somebody asked me about a coin. VeChain. Yeah, VeChain looks really nice too. So we can... Simple rules of support resistance. Okay, so this is the local level. So now VeChain is either going to poke its head up and wick above and then pull back and then get the next push. Or it could just say, nah guys, screw y'all. I'm just gonna retest those highs and then pull back. So it could do, a little bit of a cup and handle here for all we know. So the only thing you can do in situations like this is just point out your support resistance zones and play them out. Again, sucks I was not available last weekend to DCA. These would have been some great entries off these sweeps. No levels were lost on any altcoin, looks like. So that's what the 8-hour looks like. Monthly still looks to be in full swing for VeChain. Very nice monthly chart. Good structure, good MACD. Trend still looks to be in favor. Yeah, VeChain looks nice. VeChain could come... I'm surprised this coin is even still alive. But could come back up here to retest the highs at 17 cents. So if VeChain is still doing something... I mean, Zilliqa might not be too far behind and might need to look at Zilliqa again. Might need to, not just from a chart perspective, because this looks almost identical to Tezos, but might need to go and check Zilliqa's Twitter or whatever and see what they're up to. Same with ICX. See what all of these coins are up to. See if they're still building, and if they're still building their product, they might catch a gigapump coming up soon. There are, Tau. There's still some coins out there. God damn, that was a nasty little wick there, wasn't it? There still are some newer coins out there like Tau, like TIA that look good. Yeah, nice, still in an uptrend. If we're not counting wicks, if we're not going to count wicks, candle bodies still swept those lows. Ooh, and swept this low all the way. Swept that low all the way over there. So even Tau looks good. Good eye. That might be a play here. Might be something we can add to the Vault play or Bit Unix play, whatever we have. So Tau could do this. I think February, oddly enough, is going to be a big pumping month for altcoins. And I say that's odd because February is never bullish for altcoins. We've always gotten creamed in February. But Tau looks good for a swing setup. What's TIA doing? Well, pretty much about what the squiggly suggested. But even then, low, sweep, 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 sweep. A lot of accumulation right there too. That's July, so that's about 8-9 months of accumulation. Still a lot of plays out there, guys. So even if you get a bad entry or you miss a trade or you miss a play, there's still so many out there. TIA looks good. Tau looks good. What's some other ones that you guys thinking of? Theta. I love Theta. One of my all-time favorite coins. Damn, talk about nailing a cup and handle right there. Theta looks good. Sui, you know, I'm surprised Sui even still kept going. I think Sui might be topped out. Look at the MACD kind of in this downtrend as price kept climbing. The OBV is really starting to die off. So as we're starting to see other coins pump, some of these coins that have had runs like Sui might be starting to taper. That's a 10x run. Yeah, we're going to leave that one alone. Not saying that Sui sucks, but at some point, traders that, you know, loaded heavy bags down here, you know, you still got your newbies telling their mom and dads to buy Sui, you know, up here. That's when you're going to start seeing distribution patterns and the volume and OBV start to really die off because all this money is starting to exit and it's going to start flowing into other coins that haven't pumped. This would be the definition of buying a pumped coin. So we'll see what SEI is doing. That's another newish one. SEI looks like Sui before the Sui pump. So it's lagging a little bit. It's got an extra little structure in here from Sui because I think Sui just turned and pumped from here. So we got this extra little fractal here. But I think SEI still even looks good. So damn, it really does when you zoom out like this. Still lots of plays, guys. Lots and lots of plays. OP. Didn't quite get my other little squigglies up here. That's okay. But OP kind of reminds me of CRV, maybe? No, because CRV went... There's a squiggly on point for you, fuckers. Beautiful textbook bull pennant. Yeah, so OP kind of looks like this. So I'm hoping it doesn't do the rest of this, because that means OP is in for like 2 years of straight chop. But even look at CRV right here. Even at $1, from a high of $6, just all of this massive, choppy, slow accumulation, and then now we've got this looks exactly like that chart that I posted in the Warrior channel. So that's pretty much saying that CRV is right here. And it kind of does. It looks like that. So CRV is still a good play. Even at, you know, floating around here at $1. But again, when you're zoomed in like this, you're not seeing the bigger picture. So when you see a little red candle, it'll freak you out and make you panic and all that good crap. So yeah, I still like CRV. Actually, it looks really, really nice. And don't rule that out either, because BlackRock still has whatever it is that they have with CRV. So even though we're 3x above those lows, over the next 2-3 months or whatever, we still could very well visit that $6 range. Another reason why I like buying coins that are down here at the very bottom like this is look at the profit difference when you're buying a bottomed out coin that retests previous all-time highs versus something that's already up 400-500%. So let's say the top of CRV here at $1.20. This is why I buy the bottom. So when you want to see November type profits, it doesn't matter how long it takes before it pumps. If you're buying down here, I'm not saying buy the absolute perfect bottom, guys. But if we're looking at Tezos, for example. So we didn't buy the exact perfect bottom. Okay, no big deal. But this whole range is still a bottom. We still haven't really broken out of a macro level. So if you're, let's go to 2-day, for example. And make this bigger, and we'll turn this off so we can see the bigger picture here. So from the very bottom, we're still only 100% up from those lows. So this is, again, is like buying a coin when nobody's talking about it, and it's boring. Again, that red bubble from the chart in Worry Trade, this is where Tezos is. So rather than, not getting the perfect entry or just not buying it at all because you didn't buy the tippy bottom, we're still in a range to where you could still make excellent profit. 500% up to $10, $12, $15 over 8 months, 6 months, 3 months. Doesn't matter how long it takes. It beats trying to go and scalp something else for this candle, this candle, this candle, this candle, and then want to come back to Tezos, because you never know when this is just going to pull a 300% pump out of nowhere, and then you're not in the trade because you sold it because it was boring, and now you want to try to buy up here and catch a 30% pump when you could have just held the damn thing from down here and you have a 600% pump. So this is where the money's made, at the bottom. Screw these perfect little entries, screw these dips. We are buying dips until proven otherwise. And from what I'm seeing, we're about to have probably a really, really fun year. Yeah, only 100% up. Yeah. My brother was telling me about some stocks that he's in. It's like, I made 56%. Or I bought this 9 months ago. I'm like, dude, we're doing that in like a week. But okay. So patience, guys. Patience. I know you guys are doing it. You got these candles so big in your face on a 15-minute, 30-minute, hourly. So when you see a dip, you're going to call it a dump. You're going to shake yourself out. You're going to sell for a loss, and you're going to end up rebuying up here and missing all of this profit here. It's coming. It's coming, guys. It's coming. Yeah, it's coming. So just manage your portfolios to where you don't get liquidated. Make sure you have enough funds on sidelines. That 40 to 50% is not the golden rule to where you have 40, 50% funds sidelines and you just go and put your other 50% in a trade. That's not a golden rule. That's a minimum. So if you only choose 2 coins and you have 60, 70% fund sideline, okay, great, even better. Now we're riding out ranges like this. So when we have confirmed breakouts across the board, then you can start picking up additional positions. So that's kind of what I did with the vault. I didn't put the whole damn vault into trades, or even 50% of the vault into trades. I think it was only like 15 to 20% of the vault into 2 trades. So even on this dip, we might have only sucked up an additional 20 to 30% of the vault. So that means half the vault was either in a position or in drawdown, and we still have the other half to ride out the drawdowns. And then once the market strengthens, it's like, okay, we're in profits. Now we have, now we can take the rest of the funds on the sidelines to start looking at additional plays like TAO, like TIA, like SEI, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. What are y'all talking about Jennifer Lawrence for? Anyways, you guys are weird. Oh, let's see that. Look at that. Bitcoin started pushing again. So it's about to get exciting, is what I'm saying. Like, we're about to start seeing some stuff really pop off. It's about to get fun. So look at that. It's trying to curl back up. That doesn't mean ZRX, for example, is just going to do this as much as I want it to. It could do this until March and then get that push. That's fine with me. We got a position, we got a bag, we can ride it out and all that good stuff. So real quick, so I'm not taking up everybody's time because we're already rolling into about an hour. if there's any coins you guys want charted while we're here in the stream. What's Blur doing? I want revenge trade on Blur still. Yeah, Blur even looks good. Ordi, what is Ordi doing? Ooh, man, you really fell, didn't you? From almost $100 down to 25. Now we're gonna get that money back, Pimpin', don't you worry. Woo, yeah, we're gonna get Woo back. We're gonna revenge trade that one too. Squiggly wasn't too bad off point. That was actually pretty good. No lie, Woo actually looks pretty good. That's a lot of, I mean, even on this dip, it didn't break a new low. Even on this dip, it didn't break a new low. AVAX looks good. We go to a monthly chart. Yeah, look at that. Look at that kick up. Look at that kick up. Now, it may not happen on this candle. We may still kind of float between 35 and 44, let's call it, somewhere in between this candle. But I think in February on the next candle, we might start to see that uptrend. But I guarantee you, Boreas is going to get revenge on December. So I don't see any reason why AVAX isn't $150 on this next cycle or on this cycle. I think Solstice had a good trade, and I think Byzantine had a good trade. Dang, that's still pushing too. Very nice. Even look at AVAX even still. I mean, this looks like everything else that we've already charted and looked at. So much upwards potential as I'm staring at what is about to be a blow off top. I think this is where we start to see that money flow out of the stock market from the hedge funds, and they just start converting over into crypto gods and start pumping everything like fucking mad. Hype. Why hype? Ooh, is this? Do we have another chart with more history? Maybe BitKit. Nope. Gate.io. They usually have them. Nope. That is even less history. What the hell? Where's the one that I just had? Qcoin. See, that actually kind of looks a little bare to me. That MACD's actually look like it's going to go under. I think hype ran as much as it did because of a highly anticipated airdrop. So that looks like it's about to lose that 100-day moving average. So if it does, if it drops below $23, which is only 50 cents away, if it loses $23, I'd probably look closer around here at $19 to $20. Yeah, I'm going to need help, guys, because Arrow is one that I've forgot about and don't even remember existed anymore. So please, for copy trade purposes and copy trade's sake, help me keep track of some of these coins. Ooh, I don't like it so much on a macro level. I don't like it. What is that, $1.50? Let's call it $1.60. I don't like it under $1.60. Nice weekly candle on the buy up. But that's not to say that when we see pullbacks, maybe next week, maybe this doesn't consolidate for another month or so. Because some coins are going to pump and outperform others. Yeah, we're still under the 100-day moving average, way below on the 100-day moving average on the 8-hour as compared to some of these other coins that we're already in. So here's ZRX on the 8-hour, reclaimed that 100-day moving average. XTZ I think did too. So Arrow is still under it. So it could wick up and then roll lower and then pull back and consolidate. So I don't like it under 150, or I'm sorry, $1.50, $1.60. So maybe give that one a little bit more time to see if the bulls can reclaim that range up on top first. There's an airdrop for what in November, December? That's like 11 months from now. Patience, guys. It's coming. Bull pumps are about to come. Markets are looking really good in our favor. So it's just patience. Don't blow your accounts. Lots of trades, lots of setups. So now that the stream is working again, the sound recording is working again. We can start doing more streams again and TA lessons. And now that I have power again, I can be a lot more active with day trading the Vault and BitUnix. Well, it's not too late. I have high conviction for ZRX and XTZ. Those two coins in particular. I'm still waiting on a little bit more strength from Harmony. It looks good. Monthly, I mean, there's still almost 15 days left. So, I mean, that could pull that candle up still. But there's no doubt that the trend is still pretty well in play for Harmony. Even if it doesn't revisit the highs, it could still go to 18 cents, 15 to 18 cents. Which is still pretty damn good. Yeah, MACD hasn't rolled up. Price action is still somewhat at a resistance with the 7-day moving average. So this may pull up a little bit more, 28, 29, and then maybe middle of February that turns and pulls up. So some coins are going to be a little bit further ahead than others, but I think overall, on a grander picture scheme of things, we're about to get rocking and rolling in February. Yeah, I can post a bag update. What's Link doing? I want to maybe get out of Link. Okay, so not quite at entry. We were up here somewhere, $27, I think. So we got a little bit of ways to go to get out at entry on Link. And I may cut Link also at break even. However, that MACD still looks to be in full favor. I think Link might end up going to $100, $80 on this cycle or something. So I may hold on to that bag that I got, but it's still not a big bag. It's a starter position like ZRX. So I'm going to wait on a little bit more strength on ZRX and maybe add to that position as well. Anything else, guys, before I let you guys go and go take care of these animals? Good morning, sir. It is evening here. So this, of course, will be recorded or is being recorded. So I'm going to try to have that posted in the channel probably by lunch tomorrow. No, we're not increasing leverage on the bots this year. We're doing a 1x challenge because Boreas, even though it took a nasty spill in December, it still went on a 14-month winning streak. And that's all it takes is one bad month on leverage to completely wipe you out. And that goes for manual trades too. One bad trade is all it takes on higher leverage, and you can wipe out an entire year or 2 years worth of hard work. So I still really encourage you guys to treat your bots like a 401k, like your long-term passive income, and keep that diversified and separate from your day trading bags. That's why we're doing the vault, and that's why we're doing BitUnix, because we can play with higher leverages there for our degen, and then you can kind of shuffle some of that profit from the vault or from BitUnix or whatever into your bots if you want for that, you know, that longer term passive income and whatnot. Yeah, next year we're doing Elevate Barbecue. Buy a whole 18-wheeler and turn it into one giant grill smoker. Okay, guys, y'all get out of here. If you have chart requests, you know, post those still in the chat or in the chart request channel, and I'll get to those when I can. And I'll get this video posted as soon as I can also.